Hey everyone, Nick Shaheen looking at Moderna MRNA ticker. Wild stock, wild sector, headline ridden more so than usual. I mean, biotechs are always like this, but these days, because of COVID, because of the emotions that's involved, they're just super hypersensitive to headlines. Makes them a difficult trade. It makes them an easier investment for somebody that knows the shares, the stocks, the companies inside and out. I don't. I do not know the companies inside and out, but I have done a pretty good job covering them. Last time I did a video on this one was early October. It was still fighting with the breakout from 70. And let me show you the lines I drew back then. I'll try to link to the video at the end. It was toying with this breakout. In fact, I drew these red lines during the video. And I said it has upside potential as long as it holds footing. And it was a crapshoot back then. And then they came back, tested the footing, held it. That was the important part of my video. It needs to hold footing. First of all, it did fulfill the upside potential that I drew, that little red line right there, almost perfectly. And then it faded to test the footing again, and then it was off to the races. So the breakout really happened from 80. This breakout here looks like a cup and handle of sort. Don't really care what they call it. It's a failure that keeps coming back to the same neckline, and then finally the bulls take it out. They go above it. They test it for footing. One can argue that it was also against this and that. And if you draw like a squiggly line, you will get with a neckline somewhere around here, 80 to 90. You can see that they tried the 90. It was a sharp fail, took it out, tested it for footing, and then off to the races. So if you want a floor, if you want to give the whole rally up, 90 was the breakout, 80 the unofficial breakout. These are like numbers that are so far down because today's move was insane. Look at that candle. I mean, that's one day. That's amazing. So let's drill down closer. So the investment part is on you. If you love it and you're holding it for untold riches in the future and you didn't book the profit when it was 180 today, you know something I don't. Their sales increases. Can they live up to the expectations that you have for them? That's a real honest question. I was looking at their financials. Last year was 60 million in sales. The current trailing 12 months is clearly showing more because of the interest in it, and probably will be exponential growth into next year. The question is, how much relative to not last year, relative to the expectations? I'll use Zoom as an example. They killed the expectations. They beat the expectations, and they couldn't meet the untold expectations because the sales, the price of the stock already has so many years worth of sales built into it. I call it hopium. There's so much hopium built into the price. I'm not saying there is here. I'm saying be honest with yourself as to how many years have already been built into the stock price. So today I had people in the chat room, I'll link that in the description, actively trading Moderna. They asked me about levels, and I think I looked at the 15-minute chart to share the levels, and I shared a pivot point, and it was the level to look at. So from here, the levels to look for tomorrow would be, I think there will be sellers into 148 to 152. So if this bounce overnight goes to 148, 152, I expect sellers to show up there. And versus the buyers at 132. They will try to hold the 132. It's good that they filled the gap, kind of. But if they lose 132, then 112, I'd hate to say it, 108 to 116 would be the next level of play. If this upsets you, I'm just sharing the levels. I shared the upside and the downside. Trading comments, not investing, not forecast how many vials they're going to sell or not, how effective or not. This has nothing to do with that. This is pure price action based on the chart. This could be target for all I'm concerned. It doesn't matter what it is. I know you think your stock is special, but it's not. A chart to a machine is a chart. So they say that machines are doing 80 to 90% of the trading these days. They don't care what the stock name is. All they care is that the math based on the code that they use to trade, that be prior history at this level, that be moving averages, that would be volume profiles, gaps, breakout levels. All this goes into code, translates into actions. So I'm telling you that these are the levels I see right now. I don't care about the fundamentals. I know nothing about them. I started the video with that. So back then I said, if it holds the floor, look out for the breakouts, and they happened. The breakouts happened, then it fell, tested the floor happened, the breakout happened again from a higher level into a mega breakout. I had comments on Novavax. In fact, in my prior video for Moderna, I referenced the fact that I just did a watch out, Novavax is going to move, and it moved. And I just did that for Novavax last week, just before the lunatic rally. So a stock is a stock is a stock as far as charts are concerned. Yes, fundamentals matter for you to buy it and hold it as an investment, but the short-term price action has to unfold based on math, and the charts are the only way to actually get some sort of an edge. I can't tell you if it's going to go up or down, but I can tell you what are the levels that will matter. So if I'm watching it, the first level to watch is 146.20. If that's beat, then the sellers are likely to show up from 148.50 to 152. If they get to 156 and I'm long for a trade, that's where I'll book my profits. Conversely, if I want to short it, I would probably wait until it loses 130.2. If I wanted to buy the dip for a swing trade tomorrow, I'll buy it at 130.2 with a tight stop. As long as it's above that, the buyers will probably try to bounce it one more time off of that. So these are the trading decisions that active traders do. This is a 15-minute chart. So 5-minute chart will give you a different set of levels, because you're probably a faster trader than a 15-minute swing trader. In this case, you can see some sort of a mini inverse head and shoulders that cares about 143.9. Okay, so above that you could get a $8 bump, I'm estimating. It all depends on how it unfolds. So there's going to be a lot of sellers around 149.40. How do I know? Because of this orange line. This is the volume profile, visible range, point of control, with another one just below it. So overnight, that blue line is where current price is. So arguably they already started that. But they should face sellers here and more sellers into these levels there. For some reason, I want to say that 157.50 is going to matter. So pay attention to that level. It all depends on how quick of a trader you are and your intentions. Nothing here is a recommendation to buy or sell. I'm merely sharing levels that matter, and what levels matter changes based on the time frame of the intent to trade. So if I'm in and out, I want to be at a lower time frame, 5 minutes. The last few comments went to that. If I'm in, sort of out, I can stay overnight, then the 15-minute candles are probably more important. If I'm in it to win it, don't listen to this video, or the daily chart will matter. And even then, how could you not book profits up here? I mean, my gosh, what is your parameter to book profits? 120% in, what is that, 2 weeks? 16 bars? That's not enough. Whew. And if you played it via options, that means you made like 4,000%. So, to me, I'm somewhat conservative, even though I sell risk for fun. I definitely would have booked it, early. I'd forego half of it so I don't have one of these. I hate losing more than missing out on upside potential. How about that? So anyway, different people react differently. Nothing against the company itself. RNA, not RNA, don't care. Nothing about the efficacy. I do care because I want people to get healthy. This was a pure call on technicals for this stock. We do this all day in the chat room. If you want to join, there's a link down below. It's free to try for 10 days. It goes to a PayPal, but the transaction is zero. Reason I do that is because I'd like to protect my community. I don't want trolls to get in there. If you're serious enough, you wouldn't mind whipping out a credit card for zero cost, so I know that you're a live person that's looking for an opportunity to chat with 250 people.